So, first, I would like to go on record as stating that no unicorns were harmed in the making of this week's episode. I would also like to go on record as stating that, to the best of my knowledge, no unicorns have ever been harmed or even appeared in the works of Marciella Rockwell. Yeah, Marcy. This will all become much more relevant as the podcast goes on. We've got Joseph. We've got Karen now. Everything is going fine and dandy. So, my name is Edward, and welcome to More Geek Than Gay.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Tiny white stuff.
And, hello, welcome. I'm being crowded on my own show. Hey, welcome to...
Your own show?
The help gets uppity.
Oh, where the hell?
Now we're the help.
Please send your letters of complaint to More Geek Than Gay, care of. Hi, welcome to More Geek Than Gay. I'm Edward. Hi. And over there, you met Joseph last week.
Hello.
And now we got Karen.
Hi.
That was so squeaky.
It's
you
her
want
work
me to
voice.
be loud? You want me to
Well,
be
no, I'm just
quiet?
saying you were squeaky. You was like, hi. I can't even do it.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no, don't
How's
apologize.
that? Is that better?
Now that's work voice.
Yeah, and now we just had a whole bunch of people had to just turn up their audio. But that's okay, baby, because you got boobs. So, this is Karen. She is filling out our little
Trio.
trio. Thank you. I had the word rotisserie in my head.
Because you haven't had dinner yet.
Chicken.
Rotisserie. Okay, so... Oh, can you tell that I completely forgot that this was even happening until about an hour ago prior to now, and I went, hey, Karen, are you ready? And she's all, I will get dressed. Here's where I live.
But I didn't get dressed.
You didn't. You didn't even... We all have hats on today.
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay, so... That's neither here nor there. That welcome to us, just like us. So, what have you guys been doing this week?
Wait, Karen?
Oh,
Introduce
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, Karen, introduce yourself. You had time
Tell
to
us
think about
about
this.
Oh, yeah, I'm introducing myself.
You are.
Okay, well, my name's Karen, obviously. We've said that a bunch of times already.
KK.
Otherwise known as KK.
Or Jasmine.
Sometimes, well, on Friday and Saturday, I'm known as Jasmine. And you can come and see me at Centerfolds. Plug.
We like
Was
plugs.
No, that's perfectly
No,
fine.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm just like going to Centerfolds and plugging. Okay. And please do remember that we do, for the most part, try to keep the atmosphere in such a way that it would be appropriate for children in the presence of their parents.
So it's PG.
PG-13.
Wow.
Yeah.
In stereo.
Yeah,
You can put
not
from
really.
both sides.
Not really. I don't have that good of equipment.
She's talking about us.
Oh. I was talking about my equipment.
Yeah, I meant the two of you saying it at the same time, you know.
I was bringing this back to PG-13.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So a bad pun that went nowhere. Okay, so tell us about yourself, Karen.
Well, Gosh, I had time to actually think about this, and I got nothing. There's really...
Karen and I have known each other for how long? Like, over a decade.
Yes.
Oh, well over a
I want to say
decade.
nearly 15 years.
Yeah? Yeah,
Yes.
she was a cheerleader. She taught me how to do a ripple.
I did.
You did.
Oh, wow.
You did. And she's the cousin of my ex, who you guys got to hear me talk about coming back to the house.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Months
his.
ago.
You went on a rant about that, did you?
I was polite about it. I was polite about it, but a little rant.
And haven't seen him since, obviously.
No,
Or
and
heard
my
from
phone. Yeah, and my phone reset my messages, so I've completely lost his phone number.
Oh, I have it.
You have his phone number?
Yeah, he gave me his phone number.
Oh, okay, because I'm like,
One
I
of the
can't
times
even
he
find
disappeared.
out. Okay, because I'm like sitting here going, we still have like his shit back there.
Well, so it happened exactly the way that I said it would.
Pretty much. Yeah, you called it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so that's Karen, KK, Jasmine. She now sounds like a special type of spice or whatever to put on like chicken or rice.
Rice.
Again, with the hunger thing.
I'm hungry. What do you want? Fat boy needs to eat. So, what have you guys been doing with your week?
Let's see. I finished helping Larry out with the house.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
What else did I do? I worked on the yard. I had a very busy Saturday. Very, very busy Saturday. I went to a baptismal at 9 in the morning.
Ouch. 9 in the morning.
9 in the morning, yeah.
Why do they do that? Why do they want an audience to drown a child?
Oh, see, you know.
It was cute. And it was a 2-for-1, too, because two of my cousins...
2 children drowned.
Two of my cousins decided to go together and have both of their babies baptized at once.
You know, that's actually really convenient because then you don't have to go to several events.
Exactly.
Was
And-
there cake?
No, there was not cake. But
Oh.
but since it was so early, we went to La Canasta
La Canasta.
Ooh.
on 17th and Van Buren. My first time ever there. Food was good.
Yeah, the food's great there. When I used to work at the Department of Health, which is right down the street from there, and we used to eat lunch there. It's really good.
Yeah.
Huh?
And
Oh,
my
I know
aunt
which
paid
one
for
it
it,
is.
so I didn't have to pay. I didn't. I was happy about that.
I now know which one that is because I'm like, wait, that's
It's
not
right
Richards.
next to. It's
So-
right next to the
But it's right
state
down
capitol.
The way, it's the one that has like the little takeout area too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
like the fence, there's like a chain link fence that gates it off from the world.
There didn't used
No.
to be. I don't know.
There was last
there's-
time I was there.
No,
Yeah, okay.
you're
well,
thinking of the
okay.
wrong one.
Oh, maybe there are a bunch of them.
And especially at Van Buren, they
Well,
kind of need chain link
Yeah.
Yeah, they
fence.
probably need that fence.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't really complaining about the fence, but it was like,
Yeah.
oh, look, there's a fence.
And then Saturday night, I went to the Phoenix Pride Gala, where at Joshua Tree we picked up our check from Phoenix Pride because we worked the beer booth.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 days of getting people drunk at Pride.
Awesome.
We made money.
Hey, that's a good thing. That's what actually the goal, to make money.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then of course Sunday night was the Tonys,
Oh, the Tonys.
where everything in my life stops for 3 hours.
It did.
It did.
Everything stopped.
Everything?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Didn't you feel like the earth come to a jarring halt for a moment?
I spend my Sunday on the couch because I work on Friday and Saturday. So
Oh, that's a good point.
my Sunday is spent pretty much eating and sleeping.
Okay.
And, yeah, and recovering, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard work. It's not. It's not.
I don't know. My roommate used to dance, and
Archie used to dance?
no, this is in San Diego.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? There's some
She-
stories
she-
he's told you that
she
I have
used to
not
dance,
had
and she
shared.
would come home and she was so tired.
It is. It's
physical.
legs
Legs and
Yeah,
because,
it's a physical job. It's not hard.
No.
Karen doesn't really do much dancing anyway. She just kind of walks around and goes, give me money. You know you want to. Look at him.
Have you been by to see me work recently?
I was the guy in the sombrero. And
Oh, okay. Then
Really, a sombrero?
you do know what you're talking about then, apparently.
See? See? I know the clientele. I know, like, her big tippers. or her big teepers.
You know, it used to be like that. It's not so much like that now because of where I work now. It's all about location.
Location, location, location.
That's right.
It translates to other things than just real estate.
Well, absolutely.
It works for everything.
Clearly, yeah. So I don't even know where to follow with
Well, see, I
the
work
location.
on the north side of town now, so it's less big teepers on that side of town.
Big
if you know what I
teepers.
mean.
Please send your letters of complaint to.
And how was your week, Karen?
My week was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. What did I do this week? I laid on the couch.
All right.
I watched TV.
TV.
I stuffed my face.
Stuffing face.
And then I worked for 2 days.
Worked for 2 days.
Yeah.
You were waiting for it, so
It was awesome. Yeah, it was a pretty awesome week. I did nothing that I didn't want to do this week, which suits me.
That works.
That does.
Exactly.
Wow. Did you do anything other than
No, but
Wow.
that's my point. Like
That's
a lot
the-
of people
that's
like
what
to,
she
like,
wanted.
Yeah, well,
go
yeah,
out
yeah.
and do things and like that sort of thing. And no, I just like to sit on the couch, so that's what I did.
Hi, Chico.
Oh no.
You guys can't tell, but there's a dog a little dog. Remember the size of the little kittens? It's not much bigger. Oh, look, he does the little I stick my tongue out thing. Okay. We have a cat that does that.
Yeah.
He'll look all dignified and regal except for there's the tongue.
Yeah, his tongue just sort of hangs out of his mouth now.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's
It's
how it is
he's
with
getting
Garfield.
old.
Garfield does that too, and
Yeah.
Garfield's not that old.
And I think it's because he's getting old. He never used to do that before.
Everybody.
In your week?
My week has been I guess okay, busy. Over the weekend, I did a lot of cooking or preparing.
Yesterday.
I saw that actually.
Yesterday and the day before.
Oh, Saturday afternoon. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I made salsa and guacamole and
And tzatziki
tabbouleh and tzatziki.
Yeah, I
and,
saw that. I saw your
and
your post on
zucchini
Facebook.
cookies.
Zucchini cookies.
Zucchini cookies. I should have brought some.
Is that similar to
Oh, I
like
meant to bring you
zucchini
some.
bread or?
It is similar to zucchini bread,
Hmm.
except for it's in cookie shape and it has butterscotch chips in it.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
And what else? I made other stuff. Oh, I made breakfast. That was good. Well, I did. Like, you guys are all like, oh, I made breakfast. Oh, special. But it was a nice breakfast.
It was a nice breakfast.
I even laid out the asparagus on it in a radiant pattern on the frittata.
You're all
And-
fancy like that.
And I put the tomatoes on it in a special pattern as well.
So was it like a flower?
It was kind of like a clock.
Okay.
Well, it was kind of like a clock.
I
And then
was
I put
trying to
cheese
give you
on it, and
more
you could.
credit, I guess. I
What?
was like,
Oh, like
it's a
clocks
beautiful
aren't-
flower, but no, it was just a clock.
What? Clocks are
This
nice.
is Edward here. You know this is.
Clocks are nice.
Okay.
And then I put cheese on it, and you couldn't tell for any of the work that I did. That was the sad part. But and then I worked. I worked a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like 10-hour days. They're not 10-hour days, but
No.
it feels like 10-hour days. And I have 2 coworkers I want to kill. I asked for suggestions on how I could do it without getting caught, but no one has given me any feedback on that.
We'll talk when this is over. I don't want to,
Incriminate?
yeah.
Oh, I know of one.
Okay, yeah, I think it would be best if they were 2 different methods, because if they both died in the same method, it might look suspicious. But if they died in 2 dissimilar methods,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, you want to
But-
shake it up a little.
I'm holding the poison for another time. I don't want to tell you my poison.
Ooh.
Oh! Speaking of poisons. Oh, that was probably really loud for anyone listening. But, speaking of poisons, we did have one weird event. Okay, so, we're just hanging out, watching TV, and then ding dong.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like going, okay, it's a Saturday, unless
Sunday.
it's or
Sunday afternoon.
unless it's the police. There's nothing coming to our door at this moment, except for maybe annoying neighbors or something. Ding dong. Okay, I'm getting there. I go out and everything, and there's this guy who he'd been driving and then pulled all the way across the road to park, left his truck door open because this was so vitally important. I don't know if you remember this. I have a datura plant. It has the big white flowers that bloom mainly at night and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And I've had that plant for close to 20 years now. I mean, not that one. It's probably gone through a couple generations. But still, I've had that plant for 20 years. That's what he wants.
Oh, no, he's fine.
He wanted to know whether or not he could have the plant. And I'm like going, no, you can't have the plant. And he's like going, oh, you know, I just telling me how great the plant is and wanting to know where I got it. And I'm like going, it was 20 years ago. I don't know where I got it. Which is a little bit of a lie. I do know where I got it, but that place no longer exists. So it's like, it was 20 years ago. And then he's like going on, he's like fondling it, and I'm like going, and there were some seed things, and I'm like going, here, you can have the seed things. I don't care, but you're not having the plant. You're thinking, oh, and you know this is a good medicine plant and everything. If you have hemorrhoids and everything, I'm like going, wow, you're kind of sharing a little too much with me here.
You mean we could have used that plant when I had that bout back at the holidays?
I guess so. We would have only had to deal with, like, you know, rampant hallucinations, because that's what the plant really is. It's in the nightshade family. It's a toxin that causes hallucinations. So, but he was really not taking. And finally, he drove off and everything. And I'm like going, "This is really bizarre, but I think we need to move the plant so it's not going to get kidnapped." And so we moved the plant to the backyard so it wouldn't get kidnapped.
Well, yeah, that was probably a smart move, because if he was that weird that he would just get out and knock on a stranger's door over it,
Not even close his door. And he had a big truck. He could have, and he's like going, I do landscaping, and I'm like going,
oh yeah, he totally would have stolen your plant.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm really thinking
He totally would have stolen your plant.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Who just stops by and like goes, I'm going to steal that flower in that big pot. Who does that? Twirl my mustache.
I'm telling you, the world is full of strange people.
It's no worse than our neighbors taking all our pomegranates.
What?
Yeah, they do that. But okay, that at least it's fruit. You like go, oh, people are like going, oh, they're not picking it. They won't notice like 17 or so of them missing. But
Or when I go out the door and they're at the tree picking the stuff.
yeah, but at least
And these aren't kids. These are older. I would say like in their 50s and 60s.
In general, there are people walking by, though, or whatever. So I can kind of... This is a guy driving by. Screech. Pull over. I can't waste time closing my door. I must find out about this plant. This flower in the front yard. I must have it. Right.
So
it must
it's-
be mine.
So it's in the backyard. And about 3 years ago, I got a Mickey Mouse weather vane.
Yes.
And we put it right there next to. So Mickey's looking over the plant.
And the kittens.
Bear.
Well, one. Yeah, Bears climbed into the thing.
In the pot.
In the pot. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed, because they're still
They're
little
only
kittens.
2 months old.
Yeah, and he's climbed up this pot and just kind of hangs out in there. What you doing? You know, kind of leans to the side.
He's got like that
There's a
gangster
lean
thing
back.
going on.
Lean
Yeah,
back.
yeah. He
Lean
is-
back.
He's very much a bear.
Okay.
He's
okay.
Brer Bear.
He's
Brer Bear.
Brer Bear. We have the Uncle Remus kittens. It's Rabbit, Fox, and Bear.
Oh my gosh.
He won't let me call them Brer, but I insist that he has to be Brer Bear, because Brer Bear is just too much fun to say, first of all. And then he looks like a Brer Bear.
Oh, some of my friends, I'm going to put it out there because we talked about it. Some of my friends got a kick out of how many times I rolled my eyes, and there's now when you talk. So now there's a drinking game on how many times I roll my eyes, you take a drink. So I caught myself rolling my eyes right there. So
I'm all for
He's
playing
announcing. He's announcing it for those of you who are listening to the podcast.
well, this is
not
good.
able to
Yeah,
see it.
well,
Yeah, well,
But this
it's
will
going to be
be
available
video.
both.
Yeah,
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 but I mean,
yeah.
people do listen without watching.
true.
Yeah, admittedly, that's actually my favored version of the podcast. I like the audio better.
So I
I
have a
had to-
problem with it loading. I don't know. My phone sucks, I guess.
Well, you're trying to listen/watch or whatever on your phone, and it was 2.5 hours long.
yeah.
Yeah, the last one was
Yeah, and it wouldn't
Epic.
it was
load.
going to just
It
eat
wouldn't
up your
load.
whole phone. I'm the podcast that eats phones. Oh.
PG.
Oh, he's-
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Remember Mickey.
Can you?
Hi, Mickey.
Hi, Mickey. This is your Uncle Edward. Hi. Hi.
That was awesome.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
Someday. I don't know
I was
when.
going to say, I didn't
Yeah, I don't
see
know when.
Betsy
I don't know.
posted.
I'm the worst uncle ever. I have no idea. I didn't even know how to spell her name. I feel really badly about that confession. I thought it was with an I. Or is it with an I? And
It's
I thought it was
with
with
an I.
Is it with an I? See, I'm. What are you gonna do? I'm the worst uncle ever.
Yeah.
I am. I'm a horrible, horrible uncle.
You want to know something really funny?
You're a horrible aunt.
No, I didn't know you had a sister.
Oh, how did you not know I had a sister?
I did not know that.
Were you? Oh, you were drunk. You were drunk
I
those
was
5
drunk
years.
for like 5 years. Like
Yeah,
the 5
because she
years
was
that
here
I
during
lived
that. She was.
at Central Palms.
She was here during that time.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, when my dad died.
I don't remember.
That's
that.
when he found out he had a sister.
No, I knew I had a sister. I knew all my life I had a sister.
I didn't know.
I don't know what they drink. They drink.
I only
It's
drink when
true.
I'm in drag.
And on Tuesdays.
And on
It's true.
Tuesdays.
I don't drink anymore.
And
but
for Easter.
For 5 years, I was pretty much drunk.
And for his birthday. And I mean, I can just keep on adding days here. Okay. I just... Like, I only drink if there's like a really, really nice chartreuse sitting in front of me, tempting me nowadays, apparently. It was a beautiful chartreuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
wants
now
to
have-
go back.
I want to go back
It
because
has
I
to
found
be.
it. I found out that they have an even higher grade chartreuse than what I drank. Oh my god, I got to try it. A $15 chartreuse. Oh my god.
Oh. I don't know. It scares me a little bit.
Oh come on, there's much more expensive alcohols out there.
No, of course there is, but
But
it still
still.
scares me a little bit.
You shouldn't be scared
I just
until you
feel like-
smell it.
That's what I mean. I feel like I'd be on the floor.
Just
I-
come with us, and then you'll have the Peritini with me.
Okay, see
The
that.
Peritini was only $8,
that
and
I
it was
can
so good.
And you can
That I
see
can
the scary dolls in the basement.
No, I saw the pictures, and I'm not a fan of scary dolls.
Oh,
But
you're
thanks
not a
for-
fan of scary
thanks
dolls.
for asking.
Yeah, he's not a fan of balloons.
Really?
Yeah, don't do balloons. Don't be.
So
Not at all.
I'm really only afraid of 3 things in the whole world: clowns, scary dolls, and boredom.
Not vegetarian pizza.
No, vegetarian pizza doesn't scare me. I don't
Okay.
like it, but it doesn't scare me.
What do you got against vegetarian pizza? It's tasty.
It needs meat.
Yeah, that's what I have
It's
against
not like
it.
it's vegan pizza.
No, that's what I have against it, though, is that it needs meat.
Okay. As they just shrug at each other.
You can't argue with that thing. It's like,
It doesn't need meat.
Well, of course it does. It's pizza.
No,
that's like
pizza margarita does not have meat on it.
And I don't eat that either.
That is a classic pizza.
And I don't eat that either.
Oh my god.
So I am an American pizza girl. Give me some pepperoni and sausage. Like, I'm good.
Why are there boobs on your TV?
because the movie's done.
Yeah.
But what movie is that?
It wasn't a movie. It's season 2 of the OC.
Okay. Oh, that explains why you were referring to the OC.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. I didn't realize that you were still that into the OC. Did it die too soon?
It really did. I felt like it did. I felt like it died too soon, and I needed to relive those moments. It's my guilty pleasure. It really is.
You don't sound guilty.
Not really.
Yeah, you don't sound like you feel. You sound like you say guilty pleasure in that case, like when I say guilty pleasure about the Partridge Family.
Yes. It's only a guilty pleasure because I don't necessarily want everyone to know about it, but I don't feel guilty
Too
at
late.
all.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
There it is.
All four people will know now.
No. Oh, I did want to bring this up, and that's a really good segue. Last week's episode was our most popular episode ever. People actually stuck through for like the 2.5 hour warning that I put ahead of time, going, "This is a 2.5 hour show."
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, we actually, significantly more popular.
See,
So
and I
this
wanted
is-
to see that one because I know it was all about Comic-Con.
Yeah, you missed seeing Nichelle Nichols. And Dean Cain.
Oh,
And John Barrowman
man.
in his
see?
Batman underwear.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Batman underwear on there, though.
No, you didn't. because
No,
it's
but
PG.
I got him molesting a Marine and licking the kid's nipple. I got that on there.
Yeah,
But
I
we're
gotta
still
see
looking
that.
for,
I gotta
um,
see that.
We're still looking for that clip.
What clip?
Okay, this is like really what? Go ahead, say it. You're
I think I
freaking out.
saw
kind of
an eye
found it.
roll.
I kind of found it. We were looking for the clip of Dean Cain admitting that I'm his secret crush.
No, that's
or
not the
secret
clip I'm
not
talking
crush.
about.
Oh, what clip are you talking about?
I'm talking about the John Barrowman and Mandy, Melody,
Oh, Mandy.
Monica.
Mandy. It's Mandy. How sad is this? I'm able to correct you on Mandy, but I'm not sure how my niece's name is spelled. Worst uncle ever.
True.
But, her being molested?
Yeah, John Barrowman molested her right at the beginning of his panel.
Yeah, he tackled her and they rolled around on the ground for a little while.
We're looking for that clip.
And then they moved tables.
Oh, I miss all the good stuff.
You did.
I miss all the good stuff.
You missed all the good stuff. You also missed us talking dirty for an hour. Or
2
actually 2
hours.
hours.
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Dang it.
Was it and 10 minutes?
Yeah, because
Really?
it was
Wow.
after 11.
Wow. And
It
you
was
missed
11:10.
And you missed us being evacuated for fire.
What?
Yeah, you need to go back and watch that episode.
Yeah.
There was a fire. There was not a fire.
Well, in
The
a trash
fire
can.
alarm went off.
It was in a trash can.
There was a fire in a trash can.
But
It
they
was-
evacuated the entire convention center.
Because it was on the 3rd floor.
Oh my gosh.
Because somebody decided to, first off, go to the 3rd floor, which was closed to the public, and then have a cigarette inside because it was too hot outside, and put the cigarette out in a trash can.
I really feel like this segment should have been prefaced with previously on More Geek Than Gay. Because this is pretty much our whole last podcast.
Almost.
It's really condensed. And we hung out with some writers. There we go. I covered everything.
Okay.
That covered our whole last podcast.
I did hear
But
from
that's-
Jordan.
Oh, yeah, we heard from Jordan.
Jordan Summers.
Yeah, and we heard from Ginny, and we've heard from Marcy, too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and I do remember that I forgot something last week. I forgot to talk about my supernatural or whatever, or paranormal panel I was.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do the
Yeah.
paranormal pattern?
I did a
Yeah.
paranormal panel. I
What
got it
was
at the
that
last
like?
minute.
Because I know that for you, that was probably just like, ugh, are you serious?
I was very proud of myself for containing my eye rolls.
Well, good.
But they were very nice. They were very, very nice guys. At the end, I actually even explained to them, like going, you actually ended up with a host or a moderator who was a is a skeptic and everything. I hope I actually did a really, and they were pleased with how I did and everything, and they understood about that. I told them about our house being haunted by a cat. I'm like, well, we have a cat. Sugarfoot likes to walk up and down the hallways every once in a while, and other people see him. It's not just me.
right.
So, what you gonna do? But they were very nice, but they did ruin my whole thing of how I try to make sure that the writing panels and everything aren't NPR and stuff like that. There's some. No, you got to play to the crowd you got, and that crowd was. And then what did you do with the ghost? It was.
They were trying to. I think they were trying to keep the suspense going. Maybe.
One guy did say he was tackled by a ghost just 2 days prior to the con, and and they decided that it was something demonic, and he wasn't going to go back in the house. It was holding him down, and they couldn't get him back up.
Wow.
And I'm going, well, did you ever think that maybe you just need a diet?
Oh.
I take it that he was big.
Yeah, big enough that you'd probably want one or two extra people to help you lift him. I'm big enough that you probably want one or two extra people to lift him. So, it's okay. It's not like I'm saying he was rotund or something.
Rotund.
He didn't have his own gravitational pull.
No.
Rangy.
No, he was. And then someone else was like going, "Oh, I had a ghost tackle me too. Oh, I had a ghost that was tackling me." I'm not going. Don't outdo each other, okay? This is just one of the. This is where you guys are losing some credibility with. You're not sounding very scientific here.
Everyone's got a Mr. Me Too, you know, those people that
Yeah.
if something's
Always
happened
have-
to you,
Oh,
if
okay.
something even more terrible has befallen them, you know,
Yeah, they
I
got a
broke my
one-up.
arm. Really? Because I shattered every bone in my. Really? Come on.
See, when you said Mr. Me Too, I was picturing like Peter Lorre. I'm like going, and I'm like, that was Mr. Moto.
No. The Mr. Me Too's of this world that for anything that's ever happened, they've got a bigger and better story.
Okay. Well, now it is time for us to. I think we've kind of covered our week and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and we've kind of caught Karen up to snuff.
It's not that kind of video.
God, I hope not.
No, she's trapped in the middle. Two guys dressed in black.
Oh yeah, we are. Huh?
Yeah. I got a zombie shirt on. It glows in the dark. It glows. It's like radioactively glowing. It's like it only takes like 30 seconds of light and then it goes poof and blinds you in the dark. But
It's good for those late night trips to the bathroom.
I guess so. That was just illuminate with my chest. But it is now time for. We still don't have any sort of bumper for this.
No.
Yeah. Da 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 da. What a geek. No?
Was that?
I'm just trying to
Can you just make up
segue.
some theme music real quick like that?
I know. I've never heard that.
That's the.
That was actually pretty awesome. Just throw it out there like that.
There we go. We now have a theme for. I don't know.
What was that? But for what segment though?
We're now going into Geekitude.
Okay.
Everything. So.
You know, you really should turn that. Your screensaver off.
Oh.
That's what that is.
That would probably be brilliant. The screen goes, and then I can't see what we're doing, so I can't tell for sure that everything is still recording. And yeah, I could turn the screensaver off, and that would take care of it.
That's why all of a sudden you see an arm come out to the camera. So that's what
Oh
I'm
my
doing.
God! You probably can see that.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Actually.
Yes.
Well-
yeah.
Okay, so. And another one of those moments of excitement that the people on the audio podcast are missing.
Yes.
So, actually, I do have.
I think I saw another eye roll.
Did I
It was
do
a
one?
whole head roll. I saw it over here.
I was looking at Chico.
Yeah.
The dog came by, and I'm like, "Oh, look, hi, doggy."
So, I watched Sinbad, the new sci-fi show.
Haven't seen it.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
Good job of advertising Sci-Fi Channel.
And where was I when you watched it?
Actually, you were gone. It was that night. That oh crap!
Saturday night when I was at the gala.
Yes. It was Saturday night when you were at the gala.
Uh-oh. There's Chico.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
You can see. Oh, how cute! You get to see the top of his little head. Unless you're listening to this on the audio podcast, in which case
You can't see
you can't
nothing.
see nothing. Yeah,
So,
but we will tell you.
Sinbad.
It was interesting. Start of it. Okay, one of the reasons why I was curious about watching it is because this is one of the shows that's taking the place of Warehouse 13 and Eureka.
Oh.
Okay, they canceled those two shows, and they brought us Sinbad. They spent money on Sinbad. Okay, this is not a sci-fi movie of the week. Okay.
Well,
This
that's
is
good.
one of those, like, 7 times of the year when they actually, like, reach in and spend money, and then you go, oh, well, that's pretty impressive. It has Nadim, I cannot remember, Nadim Andrews, I believe that's his name. He was on Lost. He was the hot ethnic-looking guy on Lost that they later turned into a terrorist because apparently that's what you
okay.
have to be.
Yeah, okay. I know who
yeah.
you're talking about now.
Yeah. He's like the Sultan or something like that of Bluka land. Yeah, something like that.
Agrabah.
And Sinbad's Agrabah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We will relate all of this to Aladdin now. Okay, and they have this kind of they have this kid that looks kind of like Nadeem Andrews, who is Aladdin. And then it works this way. It really does. And then they had another guy who played his brother, the little monkey.
Abu.
Yeah, his brother Abu, but his brother Abu dies. His brother Abu is executed, and then suddenly Aladdin is on a boat, and they're going to have adventures, and that's what you got for an hour and a half.
Okay.
Lots
It's
of
a
nice
whole
scenery.
new world.
Well, it's a first episode, though. They do have to introduce. I mean, that's the there was a big water monster that attacked them when they were on the ship. That was kind of cool. Actually, they did the water monster really cool because it was kind of like a sea serpent type beast, but it was composed of water also, so it would splash around and.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. They did it nice, and
I'm gonna say it's no Eureka.
It's not okay. Here's actually a big problem I have, and I know that you two. I'm fairly certain you don't. I know Joseph doesn't. I have difficulty with fantasy.
You have difficulty suspending your disbelief.
Once there becomes some alakazam and dragons and stuff, and look, we're waiting for the unicorn to arrive. That's when I start having issues, and it doesn't matter how good it is. I mean, Harry Potter is a rare exception. I kind of was able to get into that, okay, but Lord of the Rings, okay, even if it wasn't for the fact that it is the most tedious piece of literature that a person could ever have to try to force their way through.
I would agree
You
with that.
haven't
I
read Les
them.
Mis.
I have not read Les
Have you
Mis.
ever read Les Mis?
No,
Oh.
no, I was never forced to. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing that you ever read War and Peace?
Yeah, it's
God,
another
no.
one. Or
No,
Moby
War and
Dick.
Peace is so much more readable.
Really?
War and Peace,
Oh, I
in
did
my
not-
opinion,
I could
is
not.
I
so
didn't go to
much what a
college.
big. If you're going to write a big Motengator book, War and Peace is the example you should be following, not Lord of the Rings.
See, I couldn't deal.
But
With Lord
I
of the
have great
Rings.
respect for Tolkien and everything he did, which basically was writing the dictionary and writing the Elven language and creating a whole series of books to teach you how to do the Elven language, because that's really all that happens in those books. And why didn't they just take the birds and fly with the ring? I don't know. So would have made it so much shorter.
Yeah, I
But-
read them when I was a kid.
Really?
Yes.
What did you think of them? I don't.
At the time, it was entertainment. Whoever decided they should make a live-action movie, I will never understand why. Animation is so much easier to deal with and allows me to suspend my disbelief.
Really, you had problems with the Lord of the Rings movies?
I only made it through half of the first one.
That's the good
I fell
part.
asleep.
Half of the first one is the good part, and then they get to the elves, and I'm going, oh, okay,
yeah,
the
and
movie's over,
I fell
yay! And then
asleep.
the elves just keep talking and talking and talking, and then the movie doesn't end. And I'm like, well, no, the movie has to end. It's done, right? And no, now they're walking through the woods and walking through the woods and walking through the woods. Now we fight an ogre, walking through the woods. Now Frodo looks all forlorn, walking through the woods. We're gonna have an argument for no reason. Oh, here's an ogre. We can stop arguing for a moment. Walking through the woods. Frodo looks all forlorn, walking through the woods. We fight an ogre, and now we argue amongst each other. Walking through the woods. Hey, has anyone seen Frodo? Where'd he go? End of movie.
That
And it's
is
like an hour and a half
not
of
even
that.
at all.
Oh my God! It just goes
I
on.
fell asleep about halfway through the first one and just never bothered to even try again.
Not even close. And a lot of people were just taking shots right now because that's wrong.
And speaking on behalf of the people who feel otherwise, Joseph.
Counterpoint.
Counterpoint. The movies are good. It makes more sense to do the 4-hour version of each movie because Peter Jackson was able to put in stuff that he couldn't put in for the theatrical. And it makes more sense if there's more of a backstory. It works.
If you do the 4-hour version of each one of the movies, that would make 12 hours of my life I couldn't get back, as compared to just the 9 to 10 hours I can't get back.
Yeah, I've felt that way about movies. Like, I didn't care about the money. I just was upset that it was 2.5 hours of my life that was over and I would never get back.
I could see that, because there are some movies like that, too.
And I was good for like the first hour or whatever of the first movie. I was like going, oh, I'm being pleasantly surprised. I'm enjoying this. And then it didn't stop. And it just went on for movie after movie.
I think what makes the difference for me when it comes to any kind of fantasy is story. If the story is really good, I can suspend my disbelief and enjoy it as an entertainment. If the story is not good or coherent in any way, then I can't put aside my disbelief, and then I'm not being entertained, and then I just want to turn it off.
Yeah, I mean, okay. For me, it really does come down to, and we're waiting for unicorns.
Unicorns do exist, by the way. Just saying. Throwing that out there.
Okay.
They do. I saw it on Ringling Brothers back in the 80s.
That poor goat. But I mean, that's really my big problem. It looks like it might be a good show. It might be good for the right people.
Oh, we're back to that show.
To Sinbad.
Okay,
Sinbad. But it's hard for me to feel like I'm going to get into it. Because I already have... And they did a beautiful job with the scenery, and the actors are doing a good job, and the plot was okay, and the writing... Because there was a couple little little plot holes that even in the first hour and a half, I'm like going, well, why wouldn't he just do that? Stupid.
Well, but that's what I mean about story.
But overall, the story was okay. I don't know why we needed an introduction to Sinbad, to be totally honest. It's Sinbad.
Not everybody knows Sinbad.
Okay, Harryhausen did not do an introduction to Sinbad. He was just on a boat and suddenly fighting skeletons. Okay, that's how Sinbad should have been. It should have just been like the Legends of Hercules or Xena or whatever, and Xena did get an introduction, but that's a whole other story. I can watch those.
Huh.
Yeah. I can, yeah.
Don't do that again. That was weird.
That was Xena.
And I feel sorry for all the audio people.
What? It was Xena. It's at the beginning of the song.
Never watched it. Don't know. Don't care.
But
I wasn't ever really a
really?
fan.
And you know you're not going to watch this show. You're not going to watch Sinbad. I already know that.
Why?
Because you don't watch television shows if it's just you watching it.
I do have a problem with that.
If Archie or I do not want to watch that show, you won't watch it.
Well, because you guys all roll your eyes while I watch things.
Again with the eye.
Oh, he almost did it right then.
No.
Almost did it right then.
You have time to watch your solo television shows
When?
when you're by yourself
When am I by myself?
on Wednesdays.
There you go.
What day
One
does
day.
Sinbad come on?
That's why they created DVRs.
But, okay, so Sinbad I might give another shot to, but it hits that fantasy wall. That's my big thing. It hits the fantasy wall. There's actually a book I'm reading right now that I'm reading. I enjoy the author. I enjoy her writing. I'm hitting that fantasy wall, and I am having to scale that fantasy wall every time I pick the book back up.
What are you reading?
Oh.
It's Marcy's book.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Marcy's
and
book.
Marcy, you know I love you, and I'm saying I love your writing. It's just
It's
there's
a him
certain
thing.
yeah, it'd be like
It's all
if-
him. Trust me, Marcy. It's all him.
It would be the same thing as if like you said, "Hey, I have this."
No, it's not
Just
that.
kick him off. He doesn't need to-
He's cute.
Yes, he's
Keep-
very cute, but he's in the way. There we go.
It'd be the same thing as if you said, "Hey, I have this great Western I want you to watch."
Oh.
And it can be a great Western, and I can recognize it. I'm still going to hit that wall of like, it's a Western. It's Gunsmoke. Why am I watching Gunsmoke? I mean...
I don't know. I was kind of like Bonanza as a kid.
I liked Wild Wild West.
Well,
Alias Smith and Jones. I loved Alias Smith and
okay.
Jones.
Okay.
But that was But I have like 3 westerns I've watched that I enjoyed: Alias Smith and Jones, Wild Wild West, and The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. And 2 of those
I
really.
don't think that.
2 of them kind of don't really count really well as westerns. I know. So, but I mean that's the thing. But I'm reading because I am enjoying her writing. I'm enjoying the plot. I'm enjoying the characters and everything. I have to hurdle that wall every time. I'm like going, it's fantasy. Where's the unicorns?
Hey, look
Where's
to your left.
Where's Tom Cruise? Like just looking all Tom Cruisey.
this is before he got Tom Cruisey.
Wow.
It was a little bit before he got Tom Cruise.
It was
a
right
little
after
bit,
Risky
but-
Business.
But it still had a unicorn.
Yeah, he
It
wasn't.
still had a
He
unicorn.
wasn't even Tom Cruise yet, really.
Yeah, he didn't turn into Tom Cruise until Top Gun.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
when,
yeah,
that's
that's true,
when
that's
he
true.
turned
when he
into Tom
became
Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
And I apologize, Mr. Beagle, because Peter Beagle, he wrote the Last Unicorn, which, and he was a very wonderful man. I got a chance to chat with him and everything, and wonderful man. It's my thing with fantasy, and the book has unicorns in the title. But
Now, I like the book I'm reading.
What are you reading?
I am reading the book number 4 of Jeannie Koch's Alien series.
I never said I didn't like the book I was reading.
I'm just telling you.
Okay, I just want to clarify that, the way it sounded.
I know, right? It did kind of sound like. Well,
Yeah, now I like the book.
I like her. I like how Jeannie writes. I like this series. She just had the baby. An alien baby.
Not Jenny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you see my face? Because for a second I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. I thought I better clarify.
alrighty then. I don't know who these people are, but you're scaring me a little.
The book's an autobiography of Jenny Koch's life. Yeah, she just had a baby, an alien baby.
You never know.
I know.
It takes place here.
It does.
Yeah. The Alien series takes place in Phoenix.
Huh.
Well, actually,
that
doesn't
would
it take place in
explain
some
so
town,
many
like right
things.
outside some?
Actually, it's not. She doesn't label it as Phoenix. It's another. It's Agua Caliente. I think it's something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
But the way she describes the place, I'm like, oh, well, that's downtown Phoenix. Oh, there's Sky Harbor. Oh, there's ASU.
Okay.
Yeah. But now did try another TV show.
Oh, the one today?
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
In the Flesh. It's on BBC America.
Uh-huh.
I'm so dedicated to BBC America. I really am. That's the main reason I have the upper tier on my cable is
Right.
so I can have BBC America. In the Flesh, it's basically a zombie TV show, but the zombies have been rehabilitated and they've been declared okay to go back out in public, and they're trying to resume their lives. They have makeup that they wear and special contact lenses, and I'm assuming dietary supplements.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's not The Walking Dead.
It's not The Walking Dead.
We lasted,
You
20
know
minutes
what?
of it?
I really thought...
My friend Chris is all about The Walking Dead, and I'm just like, really, dude? This is the one thing that we don't agree on. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the one thing we don't agree on.
See, I liked Walking Dead, but it's weird. I go in and out of it. I didn't even feel like I was missing anything when I didn't watch it. And then when we did watch it, I was like, oh, this is a good show again, yeah. But, I mean, I was watching it because I had to prepare for one of the panels at Comic-Con, or else we still wouldn't have watched it at that time. We compressed everything we were watching because I didn't feel like I was missing anything. But then when I was watching it, I was enjoying it.
And
Yeah.
then it turns out we didn't need to watch it because you didn't have that panel.
I didn't have that panel. Contractual cancellations. But, okay, so it focuses on this kid who's returned to his neighborhood where I guess he ate his sister's boyfriend or something. And all the zombies, the people refer to them as rotters, and it's kind of like a racial thing and all that. And I get it. I get it. Okay, this could have been a clever idea. And all you haters out there, which includes the 2 people sitting next to me right now, the TV show Caveman did a better job of it.
Okay, let me just say
What
right
TV
now,
show
I
came?
hate social
That's-
commentary veiled under the promise of entertainment. I don't like that.
This didn't have entertainment to it. Okay, it's a whole
Because I
bunch
like
of...
zombies.
Okay.
Yeah, but these are weird kind of zombies. They're reformed zombies.
Yeah, see, I don't like that.
And like I said,
Yeah,
I can
it
deal
was,
with...
It was not good.
I could have dealt with the clever idea in a way or whatever, except for the fact that, A, I've already read this. There was a very well done comic book of this exact same story, pretty much, except for it didn't focus on some, like, angsty kid in England. It focused on a guy who is an accountant who comes home to his family.
So that sounds way more interesting.
Yeah, and it becomes a whole issue because others are trying to come back to their family and stuff like that. And it's not and they have to fight to get their rights and stuff. And okay. Because, I mean...
Zombie rights?
Yeah,
Really?
well, because they're dead.
Well, because they're dead. So, I mean,
You
dead people
don't-
don't
you're-
have any rights. do
Right.
Exactly.
So...
You're dead. You lost your rights.
they? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Plain and simple.
You know, how do you get paid?
Well, yeah.
How do you support your family?
You give them brains.
Yeah, he wasn't really into brains. But
He wasn't
so
he was a zombie, but he didn't like brains.
no, they were
Oh, he was
just
a vegetarian zombie?
they were just dead. They were just dead, and then they came back, and they're like, "Oh, sorry about the smell." They were like, yeah.
Oh, I know of people that I wish they could apologize for their smell.
Wow.
So this show,
But they never do.
They don't do that.
Yeah,
It
why
has-
do the ones that stink never apologize for their smell?
You know what? I think it's because when they live with the smell, their nose becomes desensitized.
possibly. So on this show,
You wanted us here.
we got the teenager filled with angst who ate his sister's boyfriend coming back home. I think his sister's boyfriend. We missed the first episode. I thought we were catching the first episode. And it's like northern England or something like that. So everyone mumbles and they kind of they get angry, but they still kind of mumble while they're angry. And okay, have you seen the movie Billy Elliot?
Yes.
Love
okay.
it.
Go to that town in Billy Elliot. Take away all the singing and the dancing. Take away the happy children. Insert morose zombies. And subtract a plot.
Yeah, no.
That's what this is. Okay.
Yeah.
We could not.
Like I said, we lasted maybe 15, 20 minutes of it.
And that was a struggle.
we waited
I
until
was
the first
struggling.
commercial break.
Yeah,
And they were
I
like,
was struggling.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah. So, that one didn't work.
You know, the idea sounds like it could be okay, but like I said, I don't like social commentary veiled as entertainment. That bugs me.
Well, Star Trek is social commentary veiled as
Well, yes.
entertainment.
But they do it so well.
Okay.
The entertainment part is done so well.
Yeah,
It's easier
no.
to swallow.
I'm black on the left side and he's black on the right side. Do you get our social commentary subtlety? So
Well, when the entertainment part is done well, I can swallow the social commentary easier.
they stole Spock's brain. Speaking of, this is actually a good segue. Star Trek continues. There's a series. I got to see the first episode on YouTube. Star Trek continues. It's taking the original series and just continuing it out with a whole new cast of people doing the parts.
Well, it has to be.
Well, yeah, it kind of has to
Well,
be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of them are even dead. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
we'd have to have those zombie actors, and what are you going to pay them because they don't have rights? And so
Yeah, would they still be equity if they're dead?
I don't know.
You know, I'm going to say no. I mean, they're dead.
They'd have to go do that hassle to be equity all over again.
Although they probably wouldn't have to deal with the bad health insurance or the struggles with the health insurance. I'm not saying equity has bad health insurance. I'm saying it has notoriously difficult health insurance.
That's what Neil Patrick Harris sang last night.
I don't think he said it was bad.
No, sketchy.
Yes. yeah.
Sketchy.
Sketchy.
He called it
Call it
sketchy.
Sketchy. That's a good word for it. But and sketchy also leads us back to Star Trek Continues.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. First episode, they have this. Okay, have you ever watched?
Wonderful. I heard the angels sing when you said Star Trek continues.
I'm actually looking forward to the second episode. In spite of everything you're going to hear following this, I am looking forward to the next episode. Because it was the first episode, they have to iron out the kinks of what they're doing and all this and figure out what they're doing, and they hadn't figured it out yet.
Okay.
Do you ever watch Mythbusters?
Yes.
Grant Inahara is playing Sulu.
Oh.
Grant Inahara is doing kind of a George Takei impersonation.
Oh.
Grant Inahara is displaying himself to be the worst actor on the show.
Oh.
Now, there is something of significance to me saying that he's the worst actor in the show because there is kind of a feeling not that they had auditions, but these are the people who showed up.
Oh. Okay.
The Captain Kirk, okay. I mean, what are you going to do? It's such an iconic thing. The Spock character just actually looks like... what was the name of the little Asian kid in the second Indiana Jones movie? Ping Kao or something?
I don't know.
Low fat?
Wasn't he also in Goonies, that kid?
Yeah, he was.
It just looks like that kid growing up with pointy ears.
Wasn't it Round Eyes
Oh.
in Indiana Jones?
Round fat,
Fat
something. There was fat in it. But that's all he looks like. And he does not give any sort of, like, imposing authority. They did bring back, I cannot remember his name, but there's a classic episode, Who Mourns Apollo? And the guy who played Apollo, they brought back to play the same part. He was aged, but they had a story for why he was aged and all that. And with the sketchy dialogue that they had throughout, again, first episode, many first episodes of very good shows have sketchy dialogue at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, sketchy dialogue at the beginning. He's, like, just acting circles around everybody else on the show. Okay, his acting ability truly is showing us that are these like members of SAG? Are they?
Well, they have what's his name's son,
Patrick Doohan. Yes.
Oh.
He's playing Scotty and doing a horrible Scotty impersonation. Although halfway through the show, it got better. But at the beginning, it was like he was doing
he just
Scotty.
needed some practice.
possibly.
No,
They finally got the dialect coach.
Okay,
coming.
I know he's supposed to be Scottish, but truly, for the first half of the show, you were expecting him to like go, "These kids are chasing me for me Lucky Charms." It was truly horrible. Okay. And then there's the guy who plays McCoy. He's the reason why I'm fairly much convinced that they just brought in whoever showed up. He doesn't look like McCoy. He doesn't sound like McCoy. I think he's gay. Which McCoy was never gay, but this guy is like just kind of like going, well, I'll see what I can do, Captain. I mean, it's like if they had hired Paul Lynde to play McCoy, it would be more believable. Okay, he's truly horrible.
I'm so disappointed. Like I said, I heard the angels sing when you mentioned
No.
it.
I am looking forward to seeing how they iron everything out and work it out and everything. It still has the lovely 60s Star Trek sexism.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I love that.
They introduced a new female character. She's a doctor. She's a counselor. And she advises them about Apollo and his intentions and whether she believes him. She's wrong. She has to,
just like Deanna Troy.
She has to shoot. She had to shoot Apollo with a phaser because she was wrong. And then Uhura plays a big part in this. She ends up saving the day by dying.
They killed off Aurora?
In the first episode?
Apollo brought her back.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was his feelings for her singing ability that brought her, and how sad everyone was that she died that made him, like, change his ways or whatever. Her main contribution, to the solution was to die.
Well, there's that thing.
That was her contribution.
Somebody's got to.
It ends.
Was she wearing a red outfit?
Well, she always wears a red outfit.
Okay, see, there you go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the one in the red.
Scotty always wears a red outfit, too. They couldn't have killed him off.
That always bothered me, the whole red shirt thing, because lots of people wore the red, and they never got killed off.
They did. Although they were, it was pretty much a good sign, because they were security.
Yeah.
Okay. Security and operations. Just everyone always forgets it's and operations. Or actually, probably
they don't have a
operations
last name.
and security. Yeah.
If they just say,
a lot of them always had last names.
If they didn't have first names, it was, ensign whoever and
It was that one that it was always
no.
Yeah.
No. It was whenever you had a security ensign or lieutenant who then was like going, and why don't you go over there and check out those suspicious looking bushes with the lightning popping out of it?
Yeah, of course.
well, we wait.
Yeah, and we'll stand here in a crowd in this really nice grotto. Is that a dancing girl? You say Lieutenant Harris is dead?
I wonder why.
Damn it, Jim. Another one's gone before I can date him. No, not the new McCoy. It's the new McCoy. He's not the real McCoy, I'll tell you that. I know.
I love puns.
They did also, how like in Star Trek, the original series, they always had that kind of closing scene usually with Kirk, McCoy, and Spock, and they kind of, a little zinger to Spock, and then every once in a while Spock gets a little jab back at McCoy, and then they're just a moment away from doing a 60s cop show. With the head tilted back.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They did that in this.
No.
Oh my God. It was so bad. It was painful.
See, and I thought that would be really kind of kitschy and
No, it was just really, really bad. It was true. If you had shown this as here's an example of the new Star Trek Continues, no one would watch. No one would tune in. They really need to tune in.
There would be people watching. You're talking
okay,
about
there would
Trekkies.
be. There would be.
Exactly.
They watch.
Okay.
There would be exactly.
But they did do a nice.
Yeah,
they did do it.
Enterprise.
They did do a
watched
very
anything.
interesting thing.
I didn't.
I liked it. Okay. I liked the idea.
You like
It
the
had.
idea.
I like the idea. They did some okay things. It's just that they had some really stupid overriding plots. The theme plot of and the time people, and now we have the multiple race animal people, and it's just have standalone episodes and save yourselves for another season. Oh, too late, you're canceled.
Exactly.
But no, on this one they did do a nice thing though. After that sting, they did because they put Apollo down on this planet to live out his whole life.
Again.
Yes, but he was going to use his powers for good. You get to see a year later, and they just do this little scene of him helping out these people, and then the little and I'm ruining the surprise here, but
Spoiler.
It's not that.
Spoiler alert.
It's not that big of a deal. It just was actually. I'm trying to give you guys some reason to think that the ending has a reason to be watched. He does something nice that people go, oh, I'm so grateful, da 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 da. And he turns around, and by doing the kind acts, he's grown younger.
Ah.
You get to see the more youthful face, which was oddly kind of like Mr. Kardashian.
Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Mr. Kardashian?
Well, he has a career nowadays. Now, also another web-based program, and I can't remember. I think it's Voyage Trekkers. It's either Voyage Trekkers or Voyage Trek or Voyager Trek. but it's a comedy thing.
Like a parody?
Kind of. It's supposed to be taking place with a kind of a bad crew.
Aren't they all bad crews?
Not all of them were bad crews.
Voyager.
But
Yeah.
Voyager. Janeway should have been impeached or not
Stop.
impeached.
No.
Court-martialed.
Court-martial.
That's the word I'm looking
That's
for.
the word.
Especially future Janeway. Oh my God, what a bitch that was. But this is a cute little show. I've heard that that they really raised the production values for the second season. So I've only seen the first season. And they're short little episodes. They're like about
Oh, is this what you bought at con?
It's what I bought at con.
Okay.
It was actually really good. I think it's the third or fourth episode that's, the funniest. But then they do something really clever with, I think, episode 8, where you get to choose your own adventure.
Oh, that sounds fun.
You get to choose the decisions that the captain makes, and then, yeah, it was kind of cute.
That's cute.
It led to one of 4 possible endings.
I did used to like those books when I was a kid, the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Oh, yeah.
I
Did you
actually-
read those when you were a kid?
I actually have at home, I think, the first 10 or 20 of them.
I used to really,
They're
really
hard to
enjoy
find
those.
now.
I used to really enjoy those.
It's a cute little show. Archie and I watched it, and the guy who plays Captain Sunset or something, I can't remember. Kind of hot.
Yeah?
But he also looks like he follows the William Shatner school, because I've seen clips of the second season, and he looks kind of plumper.
Oh.
He looks like he might be in need of doing the William Shatner girdle. But it was funny. Not as funny as one would really hope, but then again, it was also an independent production type thing. And they're little short clips. It was their first season. And they're produced right here in Arizona.
Oh.
Yeah, we could actually go out in our car and hunt them down and run them over.
Only if they were bad.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that. That would be
Run them
mean.
over. Where did that come from?
Besides, you don't want to hit anything with our car. It'd fall apart.
Aww. It's sad because it's true.
Oh.
Aww. I know.
I was worried when we got the car washed that it was going to fall apart.
Aww.
That is sad.
But it's a cute show. If you get a chance to watch
Check
it.
that out.
Second season is, from what I can tell, what's available online right now. I think they do kind of like the Guild. Because the Guild, if I recall correctly, takes down the previous season when they go to the next.
When they go to the next one.
Yeah, and the only way you're going to watch the previous season is you have to buy the DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, they're usually reasonably priced.
I'd check that out then.
Yeah, this was $10 for the...
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
To try something new. And, I mean, I don't think there was an hour's worth of episodes there, but, if you combine them all together.
if you put
But
them all
at the same
together.
time, there was $10 worth of entertainment there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with looking forward to, the next season. So, and I do have, look at this, I have comic book things. There was a fantastic comic book put out by Christopher Priest that was called Quantum and Woody. It was from a comic book company that really seriously tried to be a third comic book company. It was called Acclaim. They were doing okay for a while, and then they weren't. But Quantum and Woody was, in my opinion, one of the probably 3 best comic books they ever put out. And it involved these 2 childhood friends who basically they inadvertently acquire superpowers. Because they put on these scientific armband things that their fathers had been working as scientists working on, and their fathers die, most likely killed. They find the armband things. One puts on both of them, and then the other one goes, "Hey, I want one," and that's the white guy. That's Woody. And yeah, there's a black guy and a white guy.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay,
It dawned on
I
me.
was like,
Let me back up
you're
a
like,
little bit.
That's the white guy. I'm like, There's multicolored people? What?
There's a white guy and a black guy.
Okay.
All right.
And
Thanks.
the black guy's more serious and studious, and the white guy is more like cowabunga, dude. Except for way far from being cowabunga, dude. A little bit more believable,
Okay.
like someone you really would run into
Is he
on
like
the street.
a bro dude?
He's like a bro dude. He's like a bro dude, and he's like going, "No, I want this," and he's like going, "Well, you didn't want to have the armbands before. You said they were stupid," and he's like, "That's before you put them both on. I want one. Give me one of mine." So when they each put one on, there ends up being some sort of accident soon afterwards, and they find out that they can't take them back off. And if they're apart from each other for more than 24 hours, it starts dissolving their molecular structure.
Oh.
So they have to clang them together again to like become solid, hopefully before they completely dissolve.
Okay.
You didn't really read, and I mean, honestly, that there's much worse origins out there, but it wasn't so much their superheroics that you read this for. You read it for the interaction between the two and finding out bits and pieces of the story of their past and how, because they separated, like one of them moved or something like that when they were like 13 or something like that. Okay. And the black kid took it personally because he hadn't heard anything about why Woody was leaving. And some other kid at the school, they both grew up in a rich neighborhood, and I really wish I could remember the name of the black kid. We'll call him Quantum, because I don't have a name for him, and that's what he chose as his superhero name. He's like wondering, why did Woody leave without saying anything? And one of the other kids at the school said, "Well, it's probably because you're black," and he took that very seriously.
Wow.
And
this is a comic book?
It's a comic book. And it deals with kind of that racial issue, too, of their friendship and having to grow up in that type of neighborhood and all that. So it's got that whole social issue thing that annoys you, but it's actually very entertaining. And you find out that Quantum also and it's hard to tell which is the real memory here. He remembers it as he was told, because you're fill in your favorite N-word.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Typically, everyone knows that I actually don't have a fear of the N-word, but for the sake of mass consumption, I will refrain from using it in intellectual discussion of the actual word itself, because we're not mature enough as a society to discuss the word while using the word.
Using the word. No, yeah. You're right.
And they actually got in trouble in the comic book for using the word.
Yeah.
And it's written by a black writer.
Doesn't matter.
He got in trouble, and they had to introduce, and I love this, I love how ridiculously the solution was condescending to those people who had a problem with it. They replaced the word
with
noogie.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious.
I do too, because I think that actually says a lot about, like, it's a commentary on the people who were offended over, no, this is a word. Get over it. It fit the context of the story. There's a reason why I used it, because of your reaction.
Exactly.
That's what I was going for.
That's what I was going for,
right.
Yeah.
So, noogie.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I find that hilarious.
And the reason why I brought it up is because I happened to get the collected edition of the first 4 issues recently, and I read through it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was great." Oh my god, why did they get a goat? I don't remember, but they have a goat too.
They have a goat
with a cape. But there's a story for the goat. I can't remember what it is. But
well,
if you get a chance,
all 4-legged sidekicks should have capes. If you have a 4-legged sidekick, it should have a cape. That's just what I think.
Wow, that's actually.
I'm thinking about it. Most of them do. Yeah, that is. That's actually right.
That's pretty much. Yeah.
For the most part, I can't think of any.
Aquaman's octopus didn't have a cape.
He's not
4-legged.
Oh, it's 2 sets of 4.
Doesn't matter.
He should have had 2 capes. See how quickly I pulled out that math?
Yeah, that was good.
I was able to do that math card. Bam, like that. That's how come I want to do the math podcast. Because, yeah. But that pretty much wraps up my Geekitude stuff for the week. Do you guys have anything that popped in your head of Geekitude-ness? I am looking forward to the new Superman movie. We really should see it this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
I believe it's this weekend.
I just can't handle it.
See, I was like that until we saw Star Trek.
And we got to see the
And then
latest
we got to
trailer.
we got to see the
you got to see the
trailer, and then
latest
I'm like,
trailer for
oh,
it?
I am so wanting to see it now.
It did that with Thor for me, too, which I have no
I-
interest. Thor is the most boring comic book character
Yeah,
ever.
no, I don't.
And the trailer for the new movie looks flippin' good.
Okay, but they show you all the good stuff in the
Well,
trailer.
that's true.
Okay,
That's
you do,
it.
okay,
Made
you do remember.
makes Fast and Furious look like it's a good movie too.
Okay, let me just say one thing about Fast and Furious right now. Okay, no, let me say 3 things about it. The Rock, Vin Diesel, Mark Walker. That's all I need to know. I don't even care about the story. I don't care about the plot.
That's good because
I
it
don't
doesn't
care
have
about
one.
any of that stuff.
Okay, I only know 2 of those 3.
What?
I
Mark-
only know 2 of the 3.
I believe Mark Walker would be the one that's...
Mark Walker's the white guy.
There's a white guy?
Oh my gosh!
White guys steal cars?
No, they don't steal cars.
Feel free to write...
Apparently-
Fast and Furious is not still about stealing cars. That was gone in 60 seconds. That's that.
Don't they steal cars in Fast and Furious too?
Um,
They all have criminal records. That's part of the plot of Fast and Furious 6.
They're not steal. They don't steal cars. They hijack big trucks full of expensive merchandise.
Oh, so they don't steal cars. They're just thieves.
Yes, and technically the white guy was a cop in the first one. So
Is he still a cop by now?
well, no.
because he found something
See,
lucrative.
but The
fell
Rock
into
still is.
Okay, yeah, but he's not the white guy.
He's not the white guy. And apparently they explain away the dead girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to hear all about this from people who were pointing out how it kind of like how I did with the Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
How incredibly horrible this movie is, and how they were looking forward to the next one. Okay, that they were right there the first day to see it. And I love even in the trailer they show one of the most horrible things, and they had to point it out as horrible, where. I guess the female character gets dumped from a car, and he jumps from the car to save and they fall off a bridge and somehow change direction in midair to come back. I don't even know how. Michael Jordan's the only person I ever know who was able to complete that. Him and Superman.
I actually saw a snowboarding video of a guy literally changing direction in midair.
He's got a snowboard. He can kind of try to catch air currents.
I'm telling you, it looks like it defies the laws of physics.
I don't think Vin Diesel has
what's
flying squirrel wings.
David Beckham, when there's been a few times where the way he kicks the ball, it kind of changes in mid-direction. The direction.
What, the ball or him?
The soccer ball.
Well, that's because there's indentations.
They even made a movie about it called, Bend It Like Beckham.
But that's because there's
Oh, yeah.
indentations. That's why the curveball in baseball works, because there's actual things to catch air pockets.
Catch air pockets.
And so the air is doing it, and that's what happens with the soccer ball, too.
No. Well, I don't know. Not with the
Because
snowboard guy.
The snowboard guy has a whole big board on
and there's
his feet.
indentations in a human body, so maybe they took the air currents, and that's why they did it.
Does it, I don't think he
I'm going to
just
say
looks...
Vin Diesel is a flying squirrel.
He is aerodynamic with that bald head.
Right?
He's a sugar glider. So, okay, it seems like that kind of takes care of our geekitude for this week. So now it's time for dun 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 gay shows.
There are no gay shows.
We watched. What did we watch? We watched something.
What gay show did we watch?
We watched the flippin' Tonys.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. You could. That's the gayest award show that you'll ever see.
It really doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Well, RuPaul's Drag Race.
I don't know. I think Tony's got him beat.
I think so. Yeah. Tony's
More gay energy in one room.
Yeah.
And it was at Radio City Music Hall this year, which is gorgeous. I've been in there.
Huh? Now that's where they're also going to be doing eventually America's Got Talent, right?
Yes.
Yeah. America's Got Talent. There was the guy who levitated. He was so good.
Oh my gosh, that was scary.
That was like
Yes.
and then
like David Blaine, like.
Well, he had.
except
he
for
had a
actually
cane.
entertaining.
He was holding. He was holding onto a cane, and he did that,
which was really annoying.
and then all of a sudden his legs just went pop, and he was like doing an Indian
Like a
style.
yoga. It's
yoga.
actually
It was
an old Indian faker trick, but I can't remember how it's done, and he did it so well that it's like not expecting that from some guy called Special Head. And there was that girl who sang really well too. Remember the little girl? She was like
the
12 or
little girl.
whatever.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
sang House
She
of
had
New
a-
Orleans.
Yeah,
House of the Rising Sun. Sorry.
Oh.
She did
She had
great
a very adult voice.
Oh my god!
Oh.
And she just did fantastic things with it.
But back on the Tonys.
Yeah. And then the guy with the rattlesnake, but that's a whole other thing too. Back on the Tonys.
I'm very happy that Kinky Boots won Best Musical.
I'm very happy that Cyndi Lauper won.
I know.
Twice.
Poor thing. She cried when she won for Best Music.
Really?
Yeah, she was there, and first off in disbelief that she won, and then when it hit her, she just started crying at her chair.
Oh my goodness.
You're like, oh, how sweet.
And then they did that whole little musical number of people who left Broadway to do TV and
Yeah.
had their shows canceled.
Oh.
Oh, it
was hilarious.
Me.
It was
Oh no,
funny.
it was hilarious. It was
Maybe that should be the closing number for the show.
for this one.
Yeah, for this
Yeah.
one. It was really cute.
They did. They were doing. First off, it was Neil Patrick Harris and Andrew Reynolds, who was in Book of Mormon.
Oh, okay.
Left
okay.
Book of Mormon to do The New Normal.
The new normal.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the
and that
proper
show-
response.
Okay, because I've never
and
heard
that
of it.
Yeah.
and that show got canceled, and Andrew Reynolds starts off going, oh gosh, I just drew a blank. I want to be in a TV show.
Oh, how funny.
And then Megan Hilty comes in, and she was in. See, they said
Smash.
that. Well, she was in Smash that got canceled
After 2 seasons.
after 2 seasons, and then, but she was one of the Glinda, the Good Witch in Wicked, but she was Laura. Oh God, Laura Lee in 9 to 5.
Okay.
The musical.
Okay.
Oh.
None of this is TV.
No, but she was Broadway and then
Right.
went to do TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought when you were like going, they said, but I thought
Well,
you were
they-
going to go with other TV
No, they
things
said,
that she
they
had
said
as a
Wicked,
success.
And like I would have, with Megan Hilty, I would have said 9 to 5 because she originated that role.
Oh.
In Wicked, she was just like Glinda, the Good Witch, number 4 or 5,
Oh, okay.
because they had already have Kristen Chenoweth,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then Laura Benanati, she came in, and she was in the revival of Into the Woods, I believe, as Cinderella. But she's also done other Broadway shows I can't think of right now. But her part was funny because she was in 2 shows. She was in Go On, and she was in the Playboy Club. So her little snippet is bitching the Her song, her part was complaining of the fact that she got canceled twice.
It's really cute. It was a really cute little clip.
Oh.
But and they did the in memoriam part.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper sang True Colors when they were doing the in memoriam.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm like going, well, I'm probably not going to know anyone. Bonnie Franklin. I'm like, oh, crap, Bonnie Franklin. I tap dance to her every day.
Do you really?
5 days
do.
a week.
5 days a week, actually. I have like her. I'm
I
trying
s-
to do exercise.
I saw you on the Fat Boy Chronicles. I saw your
That's
tap
my
dance,
tap. That's her voice you heard in the background.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's very encouraging.
Yeah.
From the grave. And Gene Stapleton, who, when I heard that Gene Stapleton died, I was like going, wow, okay, I don't have a response for this because I really like Gene Stapleton and I find it sad that she's dead, but at the same time, I thought she died a few years ago,
Oh.
and therefore, congratulations on not being dead until now. keep up the good work. I don't know. It was like a weird
Did
mixed
you
feeling.
feel the loss all over again?
I didn't feel a loss at all because I thought I already got through it. Maybe it was Maureen. I don't know. But I don't... That was when I didn't know. And when I saw her name flash up, I went, oh, yeah.
No, meanwhile, our roommate...
Archie.
We're not supposed to say his name.
Too late, I just said it.
You're not supposed to say his name?
Yeah, he doesn't like it when we talk, when his name's mentioned on here. But anyways,
He's the roommate who dare not
like
speak its name.
a baby. He doesn't know majority of these actors and actresses and producers and directors. He doesn't know most of them because he's not a Broadway person. But it was just so poignant and it was so beautiful.
And the
with
music.
Cindy. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was crying like he knew
Oh,
every
my
single one personally.
goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, see, now I know why he doesn't want you to say his name. That's embarrassing.
Oh,
It's okay.
Oh.
He doesn't watch or listen to this.
I know we can say pretty much anything we wanted to about him.
Because he's not going to hear it anyway.
He's not going to hear
he
it
doesn't.
anyway.
He doesn't.
He has friends who hear it, and apparently they don't report back to him because I have said things before. But okay. What else happened during the Tonys that was noteworthy? Cicely Tyson
Oh,
in that dress that actually looked really cool, and I
Until
couldn't
she turned
figure
around.
I couldn't figure out. I'm like going, do I like it? I'm really intrigued. I'm focused on this. I'm really. And Joseph's like going, wait, it's and she turned around. And I got, oh my god, it's all flat.
What?
It looked like it looked like they had tissue paper. It was all roughly. It
And
was gorgeous. It was
structured.
very
Very
regal
structured.
purple. You know, it was a very regal purple color, and it was very structured. It looked gorgeous, head to toe. And then she turned around, and it's completely flat
Satin.
satin.
Oh.
And okay, I get it. You can't sit on that
Well,
stuff,
yeah,
but at the same
exactly.
time,
Do something with the back.
something. But give her a cape.
Well, you know, on the
Once
interwebs
again.
today, they were talking about how Cicely, help me out here.
Cicely.
Cicely.
Tyson, she was wearing a Liza Minnelli wig.
Was she really?
It was short, black bob. You know, during the cabaret years.
Okay.
Yeah. But and then there was the whole Pippin thing.
Yeah, Pippin won for best revival.
Yeah, and they have a female Ben Vereen, and she
What?
won.
Yeah, the narrator is female this year, and it takes. Do you know Pippin?
Not really. I mean, I know of it. I don't know
Yeah.
the story or.
There's not much of a story,
Oh.
but there is it.
Oh, I say I've never seen it. I'm not familiar
But
with it either.
they changed it from kind of like a medieval castle style to a circus, and it makes sense. But it makes sense because
Huh.
it doesn't make sense prior. I've seen it both on the DVD and I've seen it live. And after the show, I'm like, okay, what the hell did I just see? It's
So it's
some good
better.
music.
So they improved it.
They
then.
improved it, yes. A lot of times it didn't, the revivals get improved from the original. I mean, look at Chicago.
Okay, true enough.
I don't know if you've seen Chicago. Chicago
I have.
is the revival of Chicago is so much better than the original.
See, I didn't ever see the original.
I used to have that on video. Shows how long ago it was. But seeing half naked bodies now, because they had full sets, full costumes back then. You know, it works better as a
Yeah, it totally,
dance musical, half naked people.
Yeah, it totally does. Totally
And
does.
for Chicago, they had people playing the characters to introduce little snippets of the nominees. They had people playing characters of shows that are showing on Broadway right now that weren't nominated
Well, they weren't.
to introduce. And the Chicago one, she
Which
couldn't
one?
figure out where her camera was.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and the ones for Rock of Ages were actually funny.
Really?
Well, the long-haired guy was funny, but he also looked familiar. I was still trying to think. I'm like, going, I've seen him in something before.
And those are the actors in the shows
Yeah,
that they brought.
yeah, and they kind of played themselves. I mean, they
Oh,
played
okay,
the
they played their character.
right
Yeah.
to a degree.
Kind of
yeah.
like I think you guys were feeding the cats, but when Mufasa and Simba came on,
Mufasa.
Mufasa. Simba went up
Say it
to
again.
Mufasa and did his little bow to him.
Mufasa.
It was neat to see.
Okay, we're just.
And then they introduced Cinderella.
Yes, they did.
Costumes.
Oh.
Significant costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they had the cast of Jersey Boys introduce the cast of Motown doing their little bit.
Jersey Boys. What is that? Why do
Valley.
I know that
Frankie
name?
Valley
Oh,
and the Four
okay.
Seasons.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
not really
what
a
I
show,
remember.
more of just a whole bunch of songs.
Oh, kind of like
Like
Moving
a-
Out.
No, Moving Out is more of a dance show. This
Yeah.
one is more of a. It's hard to it's not a jukebox musical and
Because they
it's
do
not
tell
a
the
musical.
story of his life.
But it's weird though because what they do is the actors, the four actors, one of them goes to the edge of the stage and says, "Okay, and this night this happened and this happened and this happened," and the other one, another actor of the main four characters, goes up to him and goes, "No, that's not what happened. This is what happened."
Oh.
So they don't play it out. They tell you what's going on.
Well, that.
So it's like a badly written non-Japanese Rashomon
Kind of.
with good music.
Yeah, I mean the music's great.
Okay.
Jersey Boys' music is great because it's Frankie the Four Seasons.
Well, yeah.
But it's just one of those things. Is after the show and you're come down from the high of the good music, you're like, well, there really wasn't a story.
Yeah.
It was story time with Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons.
I have an
VH1 storytellers.
Basically, behind the music.
behind the music.
Behind the music.
I haven't introduced you to Little Starro.
Little Starro.
Oh, that's right.
Little
you brought
Starro, she's
some.
our little mascot.
We have a mascot.
That's nice.
Little Starro.
That's nice.
It's going to conquer the world.
You know
with
what? I want to
cuteness.
shoot it.
Don't shoot it.
It
It
does
has
look
a
like a
bullseye.
bullseye.
It just wants to
doesn't it?
hug you.
Has a
It just wants to
bullseye.
hug you
It has
and
a-
take over
and-
your face.
Yeah, like the alien face sucker.
Except for it's not going to throat rape you. It's just going to take over your brain.
Oh well. In that case.
Alien. The alien face hugger is much worse. It was like it throat rapes you and then explodes your chest.
Stomach.
I thought it was more of a
It
chest.
was more. Yeah, I think it was more.
I
of a
thought it was
chest.
stomach.
Yeah, I think it was more
It
of the
was more of
chest.
a- I think it was more of a. It was well. I mean, look at it. They're busting out right now.
There you go. An alien in each boob. But I read an article today that explained how that movie was about rape.
What?
Oh my God, it's amazing. If you look at the imagery again in the movie, penises and vaginas everywhere.
Well,
What-
yeah,
what-
definitely
what
on
movie-
the face
what movie
sucker
first
thing.
on the face sucker,
On Alien?
on the
Okay.
alien, when you get to see the one that's petrified or whatever into the wall,
Yeah,
or everything,
yeah.
look at it again. Its head tapers back into a huge penis, and it has this big penisy thing up front, and the caves that they have to walk into, big vaginas,
Big vaginas.
and
Yeah.
there are intruders. There are intruders
see
going through the caves to find the eggs, and then the egg hatches, and then it throat rapes them, and then it
Well, and that thing it's a big vagina. I always thought it looked like
It's-
a big. When
it's
they
a
show it on the
huge-
other side of the glass, and it's
the writer of it even stated that he did it to express rape in the movie.
Oh.
And make everybody as uncomfortable. That's part of the whole feeling of uncomfort you're supposed to be feeling, is whether you consciously are aware of it or not, you're supposed to be getting those rape images, the sex, and then it becomes violation.
I just like
Huh.
the movie.
And then suddenly, there's a robot that bleeds milk.
yeah,
Yeah, that's weird. I really like that movie, don't get me wrong. But there's a robot that bleeds milk.
yeah.
Coagulated milk. It's...
Yeah, it's not even.
Okay, that could be a
All right.
metaphor for something else. Though.
It could be.
Oh!
Oh, see,
See,
it
I
just
didn't
goes
even think of
further.
that.
Oh my lord!
I
See, I
didn't
didn't
even
go
think of
there.
that. I would-
but really, once you see, especially once
Wow.
you see them in the as they're going through the cave, and you see, you will never not see that ever again.
Well, you
So,
can't unsee
Betsy,
the
don't
vagina.
Until
let
you get to
Nikki
the-
see this movie ever.
Now they kind of tried to tone it down for the remaining movies, because they didn't want to inherit a rape story for their Vietnam reference movie, which was Aliens. Aliens is all about Vietnam. Well, it's hard to work rape monsters into Vietnam, and that's how come they
Don't
really.
Tapped on the table.
Oh yeah.
I think that actually fits better.
Well, for the second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about Vietnam. And they're on record stating that it actually is trying to cause unpleasant flashbacks in many of their audience members.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. But little unknown things about the movie Aliens.
I never knew that, but now that you've mentioned it, it makes perfect sense, and the imagery is definitely there.
Penises in Vietnam.
Penises in Vietnam.
Yeah. So
And how are you
back
going
to
do
the
this
Tonys.
segue?
Yeah, and back to the No, I'm kidding. So
You know what though? That robot bleeding the milk thing.
See, now I have to see
Now
that
it
movie
makes
again.
Perfect sense.
You know I have to see that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing. That's the other thing that they even pointed out. Like with the face hugger, it's going to basically rape you
Well, yeah.
and then not let up until it's finished or kill you.
Yeah.
Which, what is that? That's a rapist.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And even then it's going to kill you at
and
the
then
end. Because
yeah, because it's just yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyways.
Yeah. I think this is where we start like saying thank
good-
you to people.
Yeah. Let's end on that.
Stewie Monster, thank you.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw your post, Stewie Monster. Thank you.
And my sister, she was listening, but then she got held up because there was a blank spot of sound, and she didn't catch where I said, "Hey, there's a little blank spot of sound." And
she
it's a
missed
2.5 hour episode. I'm not
So
going to
she
fix
thought it
this
was
one little
over,
2-minute.
and-
Well, no, she thought there was something wrong with the remainder of the sound.
Oh.
And I'm like going, no, just keep listening. It comes back.
It comes back.
And Michelle, who I cannot remember what Michelle said. She said something. Huh. Oh, she was really happy about the question I got to ask Michelle Nichols. So that was nice.
What was it?
It was basically about her performance and playing other parts, playing
She
other
did a one-woman
characters.
show where she played other characters,
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
and then she answered it completely different.
You know, it actually starts out correct though, because
She starts off correctly.
when
but
I was
then-
listening to it again, I was like going, "Oh, wait a minute! I see where this question was going. I see what she was answering. She wasn't answering about the show. She was answering about playing those and imitating those other parts.
Yeah.
And then it became a slightly different answer, and I love her. So,
Big shout out to Jenny Koch. She put last week's episode on her blog,
she did.
on her weekly blog.
She did.
That's cool. That's
Yes.
really cool.
It is actually. I'm like going, "Oh my God!" She has like,
Millions
yeah.
around the world.
Yeah. I don't think we got a single download from it.
Huh. We
but,
don't know
hey,
how they come.
We don't know. And that doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts. Thank you, Jenny. We love you in all your pinkness, including the whale tail. What? What?
We weren't going to talk about that.
I mentioned it once before already. I mentioned it last time. It's just that you were talking, and so you have to listen really carefully to hear me say whale tail.
We saw Whale Tail.
At the con.
I don't
And
even
it-
know what that means.
Comic-Con whale tail.
Whale Tail is when you hope
Pay
it's a
attention,
female.
Mickey.
You hope it's a female, but there has been a couple males.
Uh-huh.
Cameron Matheson.
It was my shirt.
I know.
Yeah.
Where they, where the person bends over and their shirt goes up and you see the top of the thong.
Oh.
You see the little triangle there?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
refer
it's
to that as Friday.
Ha ha. No.
So, yeah, it's called a whale tail because it looks like a whale tail.
Okay, see, I had never heard that phrase before. I didn't know what that meant.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know what whale tail was. But see, I never have that. It's usually just cleavage back there.
Yeah.
Like a plumber.
Yes.
Okay. There we
But
I refer to that as bottom cleavage.
Do you need some caulk for that crack? So.
I love puns.
Ba-dum-bum. Okay.
that is CAULK.
I do love puns.
Shout out to Joshua Tree
Yes, to Joshua Tree Feeding Program.
Yep, they help people with HIV and AIDS get food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great cause.
Well, you could learn more about the cause if you go to www.jtfp.org. They're an all-volunteer organization, and they'll be more than happy to take any assistance that you would be willing to give them.
That sounds awesome.
And, of course, Samurai Comics, because Samurai Comics is awesome. And, Joseph, where are they located?
Samurai Comics is at 11th... Stop hitting the table. 11th Street in Camelback.
Yeah,
That's the Phoenix location.
Yeah, and then there's one now.
There's in Avondale, and then there's a Mesa one.
That way.
11th Street in Camelback? Did they move?
Yes.
Oh.
They
Yeah.
moved about
Okay.
2 years ago.
Has it been that long?
It's been a while, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a nice store.
I suck then because I didn't even remember that.
And Bitsy Mamas,
Yay, Bitsies! Lulu and Chris.
and they're located...
Oh.
I'm not even going to fake it.
I
They're
know,
located...
You always mess them up, too.
Yeah.
They are on 58th Avenue, just north of Glendale, across, basically downtown Glendale, across the street from the main park.
Yay!
Good Sonoran-style Mexican food.
Yay! I do also want to give out a shout-out to two podcasts. The Seder Sphere with Scott and Cindy. It's just a very entertaining podcast. They're on Q Talk.
Yes, they're on Q Talk now.
They're on Q Talk now. They're also on iTunes, or you can go just type in Seder Sphere and it'll pop up. It's just basically them talking about like the TV shows they watch and hockey and theater, because they're both actors. Yeah, he's into hockey. And then there's many times going to be a story about the Impaler. Yeah. And then also every week there's a mystery musical. And he'll play a song, and you're supposed to call up and guess what the musical is.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I actually have known a couple of them. I actually... 50 Girls 50 was not thanks to you. Okay, that one was
Wow.
thanks to, like...
But Sideshow was.
It's all right. Calm down.
Sideshow? I didn't know that one, though. I didn't call and know that one.
You told me that you knew that it was Sideshow after you didn't call it in, but you said
No,
you
I
knew.
knew. I think you're thinking of the other, Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, because Raul Esparza was everywhere. And then also there's another one called Welcome to Night View, or Welcome
Nightville?
to... It's either Night
I don't know,
View
but I
or
wanna
Dark
hear that
View.
one. Oh, you have to listen.
It's
to this.
really-
It's really cool.
It is basically a town town news program. Comes out twice a month for the town of Nightview or Darkview. I think it's Nightview. And things are not quite right in this town. I recommend that you start with episode 1 because there is a sense of continuity to these episodes. And like in the very first episode, the sheriff's department would like you to know and be aware of the new dog park in town. Dogs are not allowed in the dog park. You are not allowed in the dog park. Do not think about the dog park. Pay no attention to the men in robes in the dog park. They mean you no harm.
Ooh.
It's
Okay.
and they have they set up a not harbor. What's the word I'm looking for? Port? No.
It was a
Was it
harbor.
port?
It was
Or
a harbor.
Yeah, it's a desert town.
There's no water,
No water. Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
set up a harbor.
And the star quarterback grew a second head.
a second evil head or an evil second head? Because it's not the same thing.
I know. It's a second head that his mother prefers.
Oh.
She actually updated the sign in the front yard that states the order of preference of her children to place the second head above him.
So it's a second good head,
I guess.
Or she maybe likes evil.
maybe.
But the local competitive football team town or whatever, they're trying to call foul play because they think that the second head constitutes there being too many people on the field.
Too many players.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
Oh.
I'm going to go with that.
Careful. The announcer will come after you.
I know. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say that's too many people
But-
on the field.
It kind of reminds me of Greater Tuna.
In a
of Tuna,
weird,
Texas.
twisted way,
Well, I don't
though.
know. Tuna, Texas is pretty twisted.
So, or
Texas?
either tuna
there's
or
4.
actually even Lake Wobegon, to be totally honest.
Yeah,
it's like
Wobegon.
it's like tuna or Lake Wobegon turned into some sort of weird, twisted Cthulhu nightmare. It's lovely. Watch it. Or listen to it, actually. You can't watch it. Well, I guess you could watch it if you have the right equipment and you happen to live in Night Vale. And you happen to be able to see through the gelatinous cube that is in front of you. That's actually a D&D reference. Because I can't remember what they called the thing that was in the park.
No clue.
But
Didn't get it.
come back and see us again. Or actually, don't see us again. You will see us again eventually.
Next month.
Next month. First Tuesday of the month, video podcast. All the others, audio podcast. So catch us next Tuesday. Tuesday. And you will get more of the greatness that is More Geek Than Gay with Edward. This is when you introduce yourselves again. Okay, take 2.
Sorry.
More Geek Than Gay.
I was like, you're next to him. You have to be next.
I didn't realize I was next. I didn't. Okay.
But you're next to him. Of course you would be next.
Wow. I'm sorry. Can we just do that one more time?
It's late.
This is what's keeping us from getting sponsors, you know. Okay, I just want you to know. You're
I know
ruining
we're-
sponsorhood for everyone.
I didn't know we were going for sponsors.
Oh, sponsor would be great, wouldn't it?
I totally would.
It would. Who wouldn't want sponsors? And then we could do like little commercials, like they do on Scott's on the Seder Sphere for Spunk Lube.
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah, that's their sponsor,
That's
Spunk
awesome.
Lube. I know.
So awesome.
Wouldn't it be great if we had like
Dude, I
What?
love you.
lubricant as a
I just
sponsor?
said yes.
Should
But-
I talk to Patrick?
Sure. What the hell? But that's for a future episode. I'd like to thank you all for listening and watching. And join us again for the next episode of More Geek Than Gay with Edward.
Karen.
And Joseph.
Yeah, and
Oh,
look in
and the
future.
mascot.
Look in the future for
No,
for the
not
math
the
for the math podcast, because I found my monkeys.
Math monkeys.
Math monkeys. See? I got my monkeys. We can do math now.
These are not any regular monkeys. They're special math monkeys.
And they're scaring the dog.
Yeah.
So, okay. Toodles.
You regret it? I feel bad that you had. I'm sorry. Hey, come here. It's Andrew Rannells, everybody. Come on up. Sorry, that was bad. Sorry. Andrew Rannells, good friend of mine. He was in the Book of Mormon, which won the Tony for Best Musical 2 years ago. Yeah. And then he quit the show and he moved to Los Angeles and he got a series which was canceled.
That's sweet of you to say, Neil. There's a lot of great things about being on a TV show.
That's true.
The perks,
Yep.
the pay,
Ooh.
the private jets.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but it's something like doing live theater. You know, that's where I have my roots. I like to be on a TV show. Yes. Yes, the theater, Neil. The theater will always be my true home. I like to be on a TV show.
Why do you keep
And
doing
I
that?
know that no matter how many sitcoms or groundbreaking cable series I'm a part of, I'm talking about Girls, that show wasn't canceled. I know that Broadway will always welcome me back with warm and open arms. I like to star in a TV show, walk popular in a TV show, chauffeur in car with a TV show.
That's if you are on a TV show.
I mean, I love the theater, but no matinee on a TV show, no 2 a day on a TV show, no at least pay on a TV show.
You can stay on a TV show.
Well, now you're just being a douche.
Well,
Don't work your agent submissions, cattle call auditions. Don't think it won't get too far. But you gotta have a series if you wanna be a star.
So can't.
Land of Broadway. lightweight show, sure, but if you want exposure, a sitcom helps to burnish your name. You gotta have a series if you want a shot at fame. I'll drink to that.
Laura Benanti, canceled twice.
Here's to the actors with shows, making tons of bucks.
She's drinking, too.
Lining up their ducks in proverbial rows, lucky sons of schmucks. Both my shows were canceled, it's true. No joke, not one show, but two. And so I raise a bottle to you, television stars.
No, Laura, stop. Now you're just being bitter.
Yeah. Can't all be Will Chase. You know, his show got canceled. At least he's nominated for something tonight. Yeah, he wasn't even on the second season of Smash.
Yeah, suck it, Will Chase.
Suck it, Will Chase.
Suck it.
No, Will, don't suck anything. Listen. Guys. Doing TV has its pros and cons, right? But just like the theater, sometimes you have a hit and sometimes you don't. We can't all have long-running hit TV shows like my own. And even though your shows may have been canceled, the upside is that you can always, as they say, come home to the theater. Kiss LA goodbye. It's back to 4-show weekends. Deli food and sketchy equity insurance packages. Can't forget what I did for
An obscene amount of money.
what I did for a really cool often Tribeca. What I did for
The chance for producers and directors and writers and casting directors and just, well, everybody to see me and love me, because after all, that's essentially what we all crave. Because nobody ever hugged us as children, which is why we got into this business in the first place.
what I did do for Andrew Randalls, Megan Hilty, and Laura Benanti, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to a dinner theater near you.
Okay, so in case you haven't figured it out, that closing number was actually from the 2013 Tony Awards, and that's that number that we were talking about during the episode that Joseph and I were talking about, and it is, who is it? Never can remember who they all are. Andrew Rannells, Megan Hilty, Laura Benanti? I don't know. And then, of course, Neil Patrick Harris. So, yay. You guys got that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I think we're finally getting to where we want to be. So, please tune in next week. You guys have all started making this last week, like I said, just grew. It was amazing. So, if we can keep up the good work, yay! Check us out on YouTube, More Geek Than Gay. Then also you can find us on iTunes, More Geek Than Gay. Libsyn, that's moregeekthanGay.libsyn.com. And then also there is a Twitter account, and you can find us on Facebook. Those have just got started, so they're still a little skeletal. But until then, hope to catch you all next Tuesday. I thank you very much, and you have a great week. Okay, so this is my microphone.
And this is my microphone.
And I got mine. So let's see how this works.